Privacy Impact Assessment, PIA. A privacy impact assessment is a process conducted when an individual or group are beginning to develop a new project. The aim of the PIA is to provide support and guidelines in relation to the implementation of privacy principles within the developing project, ensuring that the service or system being developed complies with existing privacy laws. So we haven't started this project yet. We're thinking about starting it. We've got a plan in place about starting it. This is when we conduct the PIA. We want to ensure that when we do develop this project, we're not going to be infringing any privacy laws and that we're going to be satisfying it and that all the data we're going to be using is going to be safe. So we're already thinking about keeping data safe prior to the development of the project. And that's why we conduct this assessment. So what are the benefits of conducting this PIA? Firstly, it's not mandatory by law, but instead it is an assessment that helps ensure that an individual organization will be compliant with laws in relation to privacy. Okay, so we're making sure that the system that has not been developed yet, that when it is developed, it will be compliant. So that's why we're doing this planning now. So there's a variety of benefits, which include ensuring that projects will be compliant with specific and existing privacy laws, because that will lead to legal issues at a later date. It helps develop strategies to achieve the project goals in respect to privacy. So what do we want to achieve, and will data be safe while we're trying to achieve them? It promotes within the organization an awareness of privacy issues. So the team that's actually looking at it, when they're looking at what actual systems and processes they will use, it creates an awareness of, well, when will data and specific private data potentially be at risk? Could it potentially leak? Is it safe? Who can see it at this time? So we're already thinking about keeping it safe at this level. It's giving us early consideration of privacy, and in the long term, this will save time, costs, and resources by later avoiding identifiable issues. So if we see the issues now, we can obviously address them now, and then as we build the systems, things are in place so that we don't have issues later on. So it saves us all those resources in that area. And finally, because we're conducting it as an assessment, we're getting some sort of report about it, it identifies the stakeholders that privacy is being recognized as a part of the developing project. So it shows that it is an important part, it's being respected, as we develop this new system, that we're taking people's data into account and that private data is important, that we keep it private. So it shows we're taking it seriously. So as you can see, just by doing the PIA, even though it's not mandatory by law, it obviously does a lot of preparation and keeps the developers safe and hopefully foreshadows any problems and allows them to be addressed at this point. The next thing we'll look at is what are the steps in a PIA, and there's a whole variety of them. There's 10 specific steps listed on the OAIC's website, and I'll just go through them quickly now. So there's that of the threshold assessment, then there's planning the actual PIA, how you're going to do it, describing the project that's going to be developed, identifying and consulting with stakeholders that you're doing the PIA and trying to get information from them, mapping out information flows, because that will hopefully show if when information moves from point A to point B, is it at risk of leaking or going through an unsecured channel? Doing the privacy impact analysis and compliance check. So looking at your systems that you've set up in place. Does it satisfy compliance in relation to legislation? Then we've got privacy management. How will the actual risks be addressed? What security systems we have in place to hopefully keep data secured in those environments? And that flows into the recommendations of what you should specifically do. All of this then gets compiled into the report, that it obviously structures the actual PIA. That report will then be submitted, and obviously you can that can be done in conjunction with OAIC, and then you get a response to the report reviewed, to see if it looks like, yep, everything looks safe. Go ahead with this actual project once the PIA looks like it's covered all areas and good systems are in place. So I hope this video is giving you an understanding of a privacy impact assessment, and essentially while it exists, it's helping organizations ensure that the actual systems that they're going to be developing, the projects they're going to work on, prior to them putting all their time and resources into those projects, that they're already looking at privacy. They're ensuring that the system they're going to plan satisfies privacy legislation, that they will be keeping a customer and user data safe, implementing security measures. All of that is being planned at this initial state so that when they do start development, they've factored in all these considerations, and hopefully whatever's being developed is going to be safe, secure, and keep people's information private.